Hey, yo, man, what's up, man? It's your boy P with the PM Lifestyle Podcast. Hey, look, we back for another one, man. Cuzzo just dropped in from out of town, man. We want to introduce Brian Compton, man, to the set. We're going to actually get it in, go over some things. Go over some things, man. The Greek warehouse in Los Angeles, all that and some, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to get into the clothing Lorraine that he owns. So just to get into, to what we're going through, we got B, one of the only black Greek warehouses in Los Angeles, California. You know what I mean? So with that being said, you got to understand that the kind of culture he comes from and everything that goes along with, going into a black business and being an entrepreneur in the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? You can't teach that hustle clothing too. So a lot goes into running a business and everything. So we have him here to explain everything that's going to go along with that, man. So right now, I'm going to introduce Brian Compton, Compton's own, California's own OG, coming from the West Coast. If you name it, he got it. You know what I'm saying? B, what it do, man?
Another one.
And
Another great intro. Man, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be on the podcast, man. It's always love when me and you hook up, man. I mean, I'm up now. I was dozing off, man, but the energy is back, man. Y'all subscribe to Cuz Bros podcast, man. This is definitely gonna be a good engine going forward for people to go ahead and express what they need to express. It's another outlet. Man, he been hustling all my ever since I've known. I can't use the word little in front of his name. Ever since Falon has been younger, because I'm older than him, obviously, but I never looked at him as a cousin. He's more my brother, and this man has been grinding since his 10 toes touched this ground. Let me tell you, this dude, people be a part of this movement. This is a movement right here. That's all I can say. And it's a pleasure to be here, man. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, and if I could say, man, I done got something, you know what I mean? He was the first one to take me on Crenshaw when I was a little one. So you can imagine that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a teenager out there on Crenshaw, rolling up and down the strip like I didn't have school on Monday. You know what I'm saying? I
Man,
promise you. We was beating the streets, man. And
wow.
with that being said, it brought us all the way to this point to where we can grown men, getting our grown man on and things like that. You're looking at the proud owner of all that and some Greek warehouse in Southern California, man. When we were coming up, it really wasn't known, or we didn't know much. I don't think I knew about was the gangs out there. It was Crips and Bloods, you know what I mean? So for him to come in and be a part of the going through college and different things like that, and only being a Greek, you know what I mean, one of the Greeks, to come back and show me what was going on in Southern California. Like I said, I didn't see much of that. So let the people know a little bit about, how you got involved with the Greeks and everything, man.
Well, first of all, shout out to Phi Beta Sigma Incorporated, my fraternity that I'm had the pleasure of being a part of, and shout out to my sorors, the Zeta Phi Beta Incorporated. We are the only constitutionally bonded fraternity and sorority out the rest. So when you see us say "What's up, frat?" and "What's up, soror," that issue's real. They not like us. How about that?
Like Kendrick,
yeah, they not like the rest of them. Not like that, but we love all our D9 too. So shout out to the rest, AKAs, Deltas, Sigma Gamma Rho, Qs, Iotas, Alphas, and the Kappas. I covered all y'all.
So D9 means it's everybody that's you can go play, be a part of.
Yeah, D9 is basically the term for all the black sorority and fraternity organizations in the Divine Nine, which basically consisted of groups I just named, Phi Beta Sigma. I gotta get this camera right. Okay, so yeah, Phi Beta Sigma included, and we make up what we call the Divine Nine, which are all social organizations here to serve our communities and better humanity. At the end of the day, everybody have different mottos. Everybody have different creeds as such, but at the end of the day, we are here to serve the community and better humanity.
So, and that's where initially where it started, serving the community and stuff like
that. Yeah. It's for the community. Our motto is customer service for humanity. So
Okay,
mhm.
okay. So like when you get locked into it, like you ended up going to college and stuff from Los Angeles, you going to the South. Like you said, the South is more
The dirty
known,
South.
the dirty,
What
dirty. You know
you
what I'm saying?
know
Welcome
about
to
the dirty South?
Triple D,
Yep.
Dallas, Texas. You know what I'm saying? So like that's why I caught into it when I came out of Los Angeles in the '90s, like '95, '96. I came out here to the Cotton Bowl where they were doing the Grambling and Prairie View game,
Mhm.
which is like one of the craziest weeks and weekends that you could have ever imagined coming from, you know, like the West Coast and stuff like that. And coming out here and seeing all these black people gather. I'm talking about see black people gathering and they come out here for the Battle of the Bands, which they announced it on the radio like it was a concert.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because like you didn't really worry about the game, who was going to win, who had a long, you know, the longest winning history. It was all about the halftime show
Yep.
and what was going to crack at halftime. 90% of the time, shoot, after the halftime show, people was leaving the game.
And it still happened depending on that score.
this day,
Let
yeah.
somebody come up in there and be getting their bus with 50-0 at halftime.
show,
They gonna watch that halftime show and they up out of
and
there.
we gone.
We gone. I
Right.
mean, hey, butt whipping to butt whipping, no matter what you in.
And then you know I got a chance to learn about the drum majors. You know what I'm saying? And that's to do with the top big hat, the staff, and he's walking out there and he's doing this thing, man. He's controlling the band. Like every part of that is really dependent on that dude right there. So me seeing that was crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a lot of that got exposure from Drumline. I mean, that help it. I mean, Battle of the Bands, historically black colleges, universities, they've been around for years. And they've been performing for years. They've been battling for years. But it's good when you see a movie like Drumline, and then in the fraternity cases, uh, about to say do the right thing. Spike Lee, School Days,
School days.
School Days. You know, you see those are two top tier movies that represented HBCU culture and life to me to the fullest. I mean, like I said, School Days is to me was the realest example of how pledging was back in the day to me. And Drumline was a good representation of, you know, the full HBCU culture and the spectrum on the Battle of the Band side.
So you can say it was the nicer side of it. It didn't really show because School Days was really.
School Days was more fraternity sorority related.
And where was this movie like supposed to be based upon? Like what state was it?
I think School Days was. Don't quote me, but Spike went to Morehouse, so it probably was filmed at
In
Morehouse.
Atlanta.
Yeah, probably in Atlanta,
That's a good one.
but basically School Days was basically giving everybody that was Spike Lee's perspective on one HBCU colleges and what we went through, because back then when you joined the fraternities and sororities, we had the term pledge. And a lot of that stuff that they uh did in the movie was actual stuff we would do. It was a movie cinema fabrication of what we would do. I mean, we would have to be in lines. We had line brothers. We had to do those greetings to the big brothers.
How long did you have to do this for?
Everybody different. Everybody different, man. I know people that's been on, you got brothers that's in the 70s and stuff, man, said they was online for like a year.
What?
Yeah, man, yeah,
Golly.
all of that depends on where you at in your line. That's going to always be changing amongst people. But the thing with School Days, it just gave everybody an inside view of what was really happening on campuses when we pledged these fraternities and sororities back then. Now things have changed now, so they've cut out a lot of stuff. But we talking about the way pledging was then in the 70s, 80s, and the 90s. He nailed it as far as like giving us an example to see, because a lot of people didn't know that it was popping like that. It really was.
Okay. So with that being said, you know, if you're not onto the movie, you know what I mean, you had Lawrence Fishburne, you had Spike Lee, you had Tisha Campbell.
Yeah.
Did they have people like Lawrence Fishburne that was just like, don't play it? You know what I mean? Don't.
Man, yeah.
For real?
I mean, because you got see, and that's the beauty of like, see, for me, I got the best of both worlds. I actually pledged at the term PWI, predominantly white institution, before I transferred to a HBCU. Shout out to Grambling State, which is where I ended up going. But I pledged in Monroe, Louisiana at the time, University, NLU, Northeast Louisiana University. And I mean, we pledged like that online, you know, that you saw in the movie and stuff. But on an HBCU campus, you're gonna see that was predominantly more on that campus. Like you had pro-black activists probably on every, you know, they were at Northeast, but it really stuck out at Grambling, you know. And this is during the time of X-Clan and the Daisy Age and all of that, man. You know, the Afro, you know, the African medallions and stuff. Yeah. So the Afrocentric movement was in full effect back then. So I say that to say, when I got to Grambling, I saw that presence versus Northeast for me was, you know, that was good times, pledging, being online, you know, and again, like I said, it was a PWI. I mean, even at that time, we kind of quote unquote called Northeast like a white HBCU because it was just a lot of black people in that yard at the time, and we all got along. But you know, fast forward, transfer to Grambling, I could tell the culture.
A lot more deeper.
Man, you could tell the difference from, like I say, from and nothing to knock Northeast, because man, that was a blessing making it there and going there. But when I got to Grambling, you could feel the culture change, man. Even from like the teachers, especially the teachers, man. I can speak for Grambling. The teachers at Grambling, man, they was not playing. You know, if you was coming to class late, you was failing or messing up, they would tell you. At the other school, hey, if you failing, it's on you. You know, you just you know, I was a number.
Yeah.
But when I got to Grambling, man, I was in math. I will never forget that. I was not doing good. Excuse me. And that teacher was like, Compton, you need to get your grades up. You know, she talking about calling moms, and you know, you got that one-on-one experience at the HBC. Like they genuinely care. Again, I'm speaking from my experience. They genuinely cared about their students graduating. And so it's definitely the HBCU experience is definitely, it's real. It's real. If you go on the HBC, you go to a PWI and then you go to a HBCU, you gonna know the difference. And the funny part, it was only 30 miles up the road.
Wow, that's crazy.
Because that was the beauty about going to Northeast. You had Northeast, Louisiana Tech, and then you had Grambling.
And did Northeast recently change their name?
Yeah, they ULM now. They Warhawks. Okay. I can't get down with that.
I can tell. Your whole demeanor.
We Indian, you know. They Warhawks now. University of Louisiana of Monroe. But yeah,
that boy whole posture changed. That's why I can't get down with that. So when Nick Cannon did the band and Spike Lee did the one with the pledge, you know what I mean, back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, it had a very large impact
on
it because you wanted to understand what that was or be a part of something like that. You wanted to go to school. Because the only thing I seen from that point was, you had the gang banging mentality in Los Angeles. But when I would watch television, I'm watching a different world.
Yeah.
You're seeing all the college sweaters, you know what I'm saying? It's making you really want to like tap in.
Good representation of HBCU life.
It was a nicer side of it. And you seen a little bit of fraternities and
they had it in
there. On there. Yeah.
Yep.
And you got a bar of that culture. So right now you don't have that on television. So the transition from seeing it come to Los Angeles was different. Like right now, because you just said they recently had a
Battle of the Bands.
Battle of Bands, which was hosted by Nick Cannon.
Yeah, the the group that throws the Black College Expo, they threw a battle of the bands at SoFi this past weekend, and shout out to them because they were able to have they generated 60,000 people came out for that to see bands in the like they had Pine Bluff, UAPB, they had Alabama A&M, if I'm not mistaken. They had Alabama State University, the Hornets, and they had Southern. And I should know who these other schools. I should have. It was another school. I want to say they had a total of 6 bands, if I'm not mistaken. But man, that's major to come to the West Coast because the West Coast doesn't really have HBCU schools on that side. So, you gotta kind of transport that there. I mean, we have a lot of HBCU alumni clubs and groups, but there's no HBCUs on the West Coast other than, they acknowledge Charles Drew as a HBCU, but again, that ain't no Grambling or Southern. So the culture out here in regards to HBCU is very different from being in like the South, Midwest, the East Coast. So, you got to kind of transport it here. And that's why the vibe is different, when it comes to that.
So when you started off, you go to school out there. Your parents and everybody was in colleges, and
Mhm.
your mother pledged, correct?
My mother went to Grambling, which is how that's how my grandfather, Papa Peaches, rest in peace, he went to Southern and he was a member of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. And as we all know, he was a musician, got to play with the great Ray Charles and stuff like that. But my mama went to Grambling, and at the time, she had the privilege of staying with Coach Rob and his wife at the time. And so I've always known about Grambling and the HBCU experience via my mom since I was a kid. And plus, they would always bring me down south to visit. So, the culture was just in my house. I embraced it coming down south because I love the South. I still do. And I just gravitated to it. So by my mom being such a big Grambling advocate, that's all I had in my mind. I was just like, shoot, when I graduate,
I'm
like I
going
told
pledge.
people, I'm going to pledge and I'm going to Grambling. And I did. I ended up fulfilling both of those dreams. I pledged Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated at Northeast, and then I ended up uh, entering my HBCU experience at Grambling State University, which was always a dream for me. And shoot, now I'm back at the crib running all that in some Greek warehouse showroom in LA. Y'all come on down.
So with that being said, man, you see that transition of it going from barely being around in Los Angeles. I mean, yeah, to from the South, you got to see both sides of it. I got to see a little bit of the South going out there in the summertime and coming out
Mhm.
there and see what it was like. Everybody thought it was like wearing horseshoes or spurs or something like
That's
that. They didn't
great.
believe a lot of stuff was happening. So to bring it down today's side, you have one of the rarest, only black Greek warehouses in Southern California. Where is that located?
Yeah, I got the so for all of you guys out here in the internet world, and those, especially those in Los Angeles, but we don't limit it to that because I have people who visit us from all around the states. But we're located in downtown Los Angeles. We're at 110 East 15th Street, Los Angeles, California. We between Los Angeles Ave and Main, and we have a fully stocked brick and mortar, and we carry all the Divine Nine. We carry the mainstream majority HBCU schools. We carry Negro League items, Tuskegee Airman items, Buffalo Soldier items, and accessories, apparel, trinkets, and things of that nature. But we right now are the only black owned Greek store in Southern California. So come out and support us. We're a black owned business. I'm Greek. I went to an HBCU, so you actually buying from somebody who knows the culture, who's a part of the culture. My family's a part of it. Like I said, my mom went to Grambling. I went to Grambling. And it make a difference.
Mhm.
You know, you hear a lot of people, especially when they get to Greeks and fraternities, man, you know, we really like to buy our items from fellow Greek members. Because I'm not gonna get into I don't want to just label it like they want to just buy black. I mean, they if
It's
that's
Black
if
History
that's a
Month,
yeah, it's
man. Go
black.
ahead. It's Black
It's a
History Month,
preference,
man.
but I mean, hey, you in all realness, you're talking to a guy. I got a white line brother.
Oh, for real?
Chris pledged in the 90s.
Oh yeah.
Oh, but he paid a price. But I'm saying that to say, Chris is a member of Phi Beta Sigma Incorporated, and Chris is my white fraternity line brother, and I love him.
Let me tell you this, man. I've never heard of that before.
Oh yeah, it's different
my
now.
First time hearing it, you know, right here on the PM podcast, man, Lifestyle Podcast.
Mhm.
I've never heard of line brothers because just the term brothers. You know what I mean?
Oh well, line brothers are so you know. My line, for example, it was 7 of us.
Mhm.
Well, it was 8 of us, but somebody didn't
Fell
make
off,
it.
somebody didn't make
Somebody
it, huh?
couldn't, take the
Hack
pressure.
it. Yeah.
Love him to this day. But we started off with that, and your line brothers are basically the guys that are about to embark this journey with you, what we call into Sigma land, and you hear the term crossing the burning sands.
Yeah.
We gonna just leave that for what it is. I ain't about to get into that on here.
Don't do it.
But
Don't
they
do
hot.
it.
I can tell you that. They hot. And so, but anyway, these in my case, these are the men that all the endeavors that it took for us to become members of Phi Beta Sigma Incorporated. We are our line name is 7 the Hard Way. It was 7 of us. I'm Deuce Club. Out of the line, I was the second one. And you know, man, you build a bond with these dudes, man.
Yeah.
There's stuff going on, man. You can't do it on your own. You know, and what it does too is it creates this bond of dependency on each other. You know, because the when you pledge back then when you pledge, they not using that term no more or whatever. But put it like this: if I don't know it, you don't know it.
Yeah.
Even if you know it.
Yeah.
Because they finna ask us, all 7 of us, do you know it? Do you know it? Do you know it? And if you don't know it, and you say you know it, but I don't know it, we're in trouble.
Surprise.
Because we won.
Yeah.
We won. So anyway, that's just some of the things that just a quick example of the brotherhood bond that you go through becoming a member at that time, and that's what the term line brother is. Those were the 6 guys that was online with me, and I'm online with them, and we made it through. And they gonna be my line brothers for life. Yeah, man. I mean, that's a bond. That's an unbreakable bond. But again, every line is different, man. You life go on too. I mean, that's college. You know what I'm saying? Am I gonna sit here and say? I mean, you got people that got lines. They probably tell. I talk to my line brothers every day.
Yeah.
I don't talk to my line brothers every day. I know where my line brothers are at. Yeah. I got a group right now in my phone with my line brothers where it's just us. And I'll go up in there. What's up, knuckleheads? What y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? Or you put stuff together and meet because cats is dying. Same for the girls, for the women. Excuse me. They got line sisters. Unless you like on one of those lines. Shout out to Ollie Don in Vegas, Sin City Sigmas. He plays by himself. He is solo. So I tease him all the time. That's my dog.
Okay.
He didn't have nobody to pledge with him. So you can have that happen
so
too.
when you come into the game, it's only a certain amount of time that you can pledge back then? Like
no, the pledging different the pledging time differs per line. But what I'm saying, Like I'm saying, I was online with seven line
And you
brothers.
started with 8, you ended up with 7.
My boy in Vegas didn't have no line brothers. It was just him online. You had that too. He a solo.
So you catch you caught
You
more
catch
of a
it all.
fade.
He catching a fade.
Yeah.
But I always tease him like, yeah, you caught a fade, but you ain't had no LBs. That's your fault.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody tell you go online by yourself.
By yourself.
But it happens.
So would they post a memo like, look, check this out. We gonna get some brothers that's gonna be a part of the fraternity, and it's gonna be on this date and that. And he was the only person that said, well, shoot, I go sign up. And
well,
he show up and he the only one.
That part I don't know how he'd have to tell you that story. But what happens is back then they had what you call a smoker. And a smoker was basically a nickname for the event.
It's not the crack.
No.
You know, on the street.
No. That was the name of the meeting for interest, people who were interested. Hey, 580
secret?
No. You know they had put the
posters up and everything.
Hey, 580 Sigma's throwing the smoker today. And if you were interested, you knew what it was or whatever, and then cats come to the smoker. They telling you what the fraternity life is about. They was telling you all what was it about, but
they give you the nice
version. They telling you what the organization is about, what they stand for. All of them do that. And then back then that's how the process started. You might get an invite. You come there, you leave your information or whatever. But now it's different. It's a different process now. But back then that's how that was.
Are the schools more involved in it on what you can and what you can't do?
Yeah.
Or this is something strictly just for the brothers the fraternities and sororities that's putting this together?
Everybody got guidelines. And you're on a college campus, so everybody got rules.
And everything takes place on the college campus?
I'm not at liberty to answer that question right now.
I got you. They totally understand.
Yeah, so back to the Battle of the Bands.
Yeah. So Nick Cannon with all the kids.
So Nick Cannon was there last week in California. So 5 people, and they had a successful event.
Yeah.
And black college bands have always been a part of the HBCU college experience at most campuses who have a band. And you were saying about Kendrick.
So yeah. I know Kendrick got the West Coast on fire. Well, look, will he ever show up at an HBCU and perform? Has he ever?
You know what? I don't know if I wouldn't be. I don't know.
College and received an award for
he probably, but see, now that's the tight part about Battle of the Bands and stuff. And I have to say, if you ever have a chance to go to the Bayou Classic, where Grambling and Southern play each other, that's like one of the biggest.
And where is that at?
That's in New Orleans.
New Orleans?
Yeah, that's every year. I think we in year 50. I think this gonna be the 52nd year. Southern then beat us like 2 years in a row now, though, man. But that's in New Orleans. That's a big deal. Like when I was in school, man, Bayou Classic is still a big deal. That's kind of like that Grambling and Perry View game you was talking about. But but Southern and the Grambling game is bananas. But that's what we call the SWAC conference. Now you got the MEAC too, where you got like Hampton and Howard. They got their division too. And so they got big games too. So, I'm not going to sit here and say that Grambling and Southern is the only one, but it's one of the known prominent ones. Been going on for more than 50 years now. But you got other schools, because I know, like, by me being in the business, and I went to I was in the SWAT. So that's, Grambling, Pine Bluff, Mississippi Valley, them all the schools I would see, Jackson State. But see, when you get over there to the MEAC conference, that's where the Hamptons and the Virginia States and Howard and all of them. And see, Howard and Hampton go at it like we go at it with Southern and Grambling. I mean, man, I just did an event a couple of weeks ago, and the Hampton people then was what the Howard stuff doing right. But that's how we are with Grambling and stuff. Like I'm like,
yeah, because one of my clients, I mentioned Grambling,
and they went to Southern.
Well, I forgot where he went.
He probably went to
But
Southern.
he had nothing nice to say.
Yeah, he went to Southern.
And I was like, dang, he banging on it like that. Yeah. Shout out to my guy Marcus. Marcus was like really on it.
He probably went to Southern. Bless his little heart.
Yeah, I was like, still to this day.
He probably mad he made that loser move. No, I'm just playing, Marcus. I'm just playing. But see, that's how Grambling and Southern people, that's how it's all fun. But that's a rival.
Oh yeah,
that's a rival.
Whoever it was, he was really adamant about.
I'm pretty sure it was Southern.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was Southern.
I'm gonna check back with him.
Cause that Howard and Hampton, that's real. That's a rival. And see, I didn't really know about that one until when I opened the store and started doing pop-up shops, and that's when I got to messing with more of the East Coast schools, Virginia State, Hampton, Howard, NCUU, North Carolina, the Aggies, and all of them. All of them schools, they got little rivals amongst themselves too. It ain't just Grambling and Southern. But see, that's the one I was basically exposed to.
The rivalry I hear is going to be Grambling and Prairie View.
Grambling and Prairie View is one, but I mean,
it's not as big.
It ain't like Grambling and Southern.
They just have more of the football game.
Yeah. I mean, it's a legit
Red River Classic.
Red River Classic. I remember Red River Classic.
They come out here like back-to-back weekends.
Yeah, they got different ones, but at the end of the day, they're all college. Every college has their rivals and stuff like that, and their particular teams, like they say when that list come out. You like, oh, we better see them.
Yeah.
Well, that's the Grambling. That's Grambling. That's Bayou Classic.
Okay.
You can have all the games in the world on there,
but
that November game, whoever coaching these teams, they jobs on the line.
Yeah.
Because that's the game. Both of these schools, you could lose all the games all season. Not that nobody want to lose, but when it come to Grambling and Southern, both colleges want that game.
And you say y'all lost the last 2 years?
Man, we didn't lost. I know we didn't lost 2. We lost last year, and I know we lost the year before.
And, I'm at the visit one, man. I've never been.
Oh, you got to do that. Yeah. And see, now we got the plug too. Shout out to LaCairo who got the Airbnb right around the corner from. I don't know if it ain't the Superdome no more, but where they play at, where the Saints play.
When is it? November?
It's in November every year.
Y'all hear that? I'm coming.
Yeah,
but my hat is gonna have an end for nobody.
I need to go to it. I need to go to one too though, because I haven't been since really school. Because I always get, the Grambling and Southern alumni always book me to do the event at out here in LA. So I don't really have to go per se to feel the experience, but it ain't nothing like being there. So HBCU life, definitely an experience. It's a different world, like the TV show.
Black colleges, just in case you didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
So once you pledge and stuff like, you don't pledge anymore. Once you become a part of a fraternity and sorority, there's connections that last down the line that you can count on with a lot of people. I've been hearing about that.
Yeah, that's one of the
benefits.
Tap
in with a network of people. You know what I'm saying, and stay connected that way too, right?
Yeah, that's one of the benefits. I mean, that's one that's a standout because you all the fraternities and sororities, they're college based. You have to go to college to become part of one. So you talking about, you got people that go graduate, they become, directors, actors, lawyers, doctors. I mean, shout out to Erykah Badu. She went to Grambling. We see what she did. E40 went to Grambling too. E40 passed through there. I mean, Grambling got. That's just two I named that that's easy for people to know. I mean, you got to think Doug Williams won that Super Bowl with
Washington Redskins.
That's Grambling. That's Grambling. He was the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl.
I believe.
Yeah, Doug Williams.
Yeah.
Grambling State. So you have. Well, we talking about fraternity because none of them was affiliated, to my knowledge, with a fraternity and sorority. But what I'm saying is the connections you make, number one, at college, but then on a fraternity and sorority base, you got members in there that going to be politicians, that going to be, hold esteemed jobs. I mean, you got people like me, they store owners and stuff, you know, and so you never know. It's good to be connected, to know that, you know, some of these people in the same organization you in, and it's like we had a term back then, you know, membership has its privileges.
True.
I got frat brothers that's feds, you know, I got cops, border patrol cops, you know. And this goes for all the fraternities and sororities, you know. We naming that, and just like we gave the example, I'm pretty sure I got a frat brother that's a janitor. But I mean, hey, I might need some equipment.
Yeah.
And you and my frat gonna help me.
It's
You know
all
what I'm
the
saying?
network.
Yeah, it's our network. So
it's not a bad thing, man. Tap into your local schools and get
Yeah.
involved, man. Like they said, they serve the community first.
you might have a frat or sorority sister that's a principal at a school that your kid need to get in, and they redlining it.
Yeah.
What's up, frat? I need to get my people in here. You know, that I'd rather have that plugged than nothing. Whether if they can or not. I'm just saying that's a quick pro to being part of an organization. And it has its benefits. It's definitely benefited me. So
by you owning all that and some Greek warehouse, like and being predominantly on the West Coast, right? You got all these schools coming here and everybody's new. Who's selling the most out of there? Like who you see buying the most?
I ain't answering that.
You can't.
This is what I can speak on. Shout out to Phi Beta Sigma and Zeta Phi Beta, because they hold me down.
Okay.
But to sit here and say them deltas, them Qs, you know, them alphas, them kappas, them AKs, they all put in work with me.
Okay.
They all put in work with me. But I will say my sorors and my frats, they keep me busy.
Okay.
So
as they should.
Yeah, as they should though. But you know, I get all organizations come in. Oh, and shout out to the Masons and the Order of Eastern Stars, because we carry their stuff as well. And you know, the Masons that's one of the biggest worldwide brotherhood fraternal orders out there. You know, a lot of the members from a lot of the fraternities and our founders and stuff were Masons. So, you know, shout out to them. We carry your items too. So, man, it's amazing to see who comes through there.
Do people come through just to check it out? Not even being part of the
people will hear about it. People will hear about it and just come in. You know, I'll be like, hey, you know, how can I help you? If I ain't there, Toya in there, JJ might be in there. What's up, kid? But you're gonna get people from all walks of life. I get a lot of people from out of town come up in there. You know, I didn't heard about y'all. I mean, I love it when people come in there and they like, man, we heard about your store, you know, in Ohio. And I was like, when I told them when I get there, my first stop was gonna be we going to all that and some.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had that happen more, you know, several times.
And you know, that's the old school way of, you know, word of mouth is better than any advertisement you can get.
Well,
I mean, if you're doing stuff like that, word of mouth is that's that free advertisement.
That's an honor
good
too.
Customer service.
That too. And that's what we hang our hat on, is good customer service, quality items, and fair pricing, man. You know, when you come to our store, we want you to have I said when I open that store, I want people to have a shopping experience.
Okay.
You know, I don't want it to be you just come in there and it's like when you come in my store, we got music playing, we got a clean environment. You know, you got to come up them steps though. Some of them people be like, man, them steps. But I be like, but when you make it up to the promised land, it's worth it.
You get it, fraternity, sorority, they step.
Man,
come up the steps,
man. But you know what? It's funny. Them people, clients come up them steps, and when I open that metal door, you should see their eyes. Wow. Yeah, it's like, man, that's how it is.
Opens up.
Because
I gotta still come out there. I've been out there a few times and they ain't pulled up on you, man.
You gotta pull up.
I'm gonna look. The next time I touch down in LA, man, I'm gonna pull up.
We got a
location.
fully stocked store. Like I said, you don't.
I'm gonna give me some Negro leads.
You know, I was about to say, you don't have to just be in a fraternity or sorority, even though that's a major piece of our business. But I got anybody can wear the HBCU and represent the culture. Anybody can wear the Negro League, the Buffalo Soldier. You know, all of that's representing Black culture and history. Tuskegee Airman.
That's crazy.
We all can wear that.
Because I saw Lil Boosie get in trouble with the Kappas. He didn't understand it.
Yeah,
didn't understand.
He wasn't.
And I can't understand how you from the South, Boosie, and you didn't understand that part of the game. Like,
it was a hiccup.
I mean, come on, man. But
It was a
you
hiccup.
didn't accidentally know about that one.
It was a hiccup. I mean, because the fraternity culture is big in the South, that's for sure.
Boy from Baton Rouge, you should have known something.
Somebody should. You know,
Yeah,
I'm gonna say this. When I seen that, I was like, because you know the first thing you're gonna think, dang, Boosie a Kappa, but what ended up, but see,
he bought it because he needed it for a show that night.
Okay, but see me as, and this is where licensing and all of that come into play, and you know, my thing was, who sold you that? But I'm not gonna get into that.
Though. So he walked in the store.
Boosie, look, there's a protocol.
Oh, okay.
There is a pecking order.
Okay.
And Boosie just shouldn't have got sold that. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, gotcha.
Because I've had that happen in my store. And I ask questions. See, that's why people like buying from somebody that's part of the culture. Because see, I got stuff I'm looking at. I got questions I'm gonna ask.
Yeah.
You know, my first question when you come in my store is, hey, how you doing? How can I help you? What are you shopping for?
And then you know all about the Divine Nine.
I know enough to know if you ain't supposed to be walking out of here with that shirt, because you ain't about to go getting me in trouble.
Yeah.
And they talk about where you got that. And
I got it from all that.
See, that ain't about to happen. Yeah. That ain't about to happen. And see, unfortunately, that's what happened with the. I'm assuming with the boot, because he had to buy it somewhere. Yeah. And again, I ain't making no big deal. This ain't nothing new. Y'all, everybody knew. But me as an owner and being in the organization, I was like, who sold him that? Yeah. And why did you sell him that? Like, but you know, but see, I don't know if he bought it. Nah, I mean, I don't care if you know, whoever. You ain't coming up in my store and ain't part of the organization and buying it not knowingly. Yeah. You know, at least you can educate. If you pull one off, then you pull a good one over there with me. Because, like I said, I didn't have people come up in there. Matter of fact, was, you know, we filming a movie. We you know, people trying to all kind. You know, I'm in LA, so I hear all kind of stories, and I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. You grabbing this? What you doing when you buying gifts for crossing and the lingo ain't right? And I'm like, put that back. I got you can go. What I tell them is, you can't buy that, but you could go over there and buy that. Yeah. But okay, what you saying? Your stories ain't lining up. It ain't lining up, and you don't know what that is and what that represents, and you leave here and nah.
Come back on
and it happens. Yeah.
In my shop, I have the Divine Nine, but it's from all
you got the picture,
the cartoons and stuff like that. And that's when I first heard about it. So people would ask me, like,
"Are you in one?"
The Divine Nine. I'm like, oh, nah, that's the cartoon. You know, I didn't understand it. You know what I'm saying? And then I understood, you know, the AKAs from our cousin. I understood you from, you know, what your frat. So it was like the rest of them I couldn't speak to. I didn't know what the signs mean and the things like that. So I put it in there so the children that came into the shop can actually look at it and say, okay, my favorite cartoons then went to college. So I was trying to make come at a different angle so they can see it and be like, you know what? I want to be, you know, they moved on.
Yeah,
that's the Boondocks and all that.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know it had a more
bigger meaning.
Yeah,
that's a photo. That's a photo representing the Divine Nine. Like, all those characters on that picture represent all the fraternities and the sororities in the Divine Nine in its cartoon artwork.
Yeah. Do you think it's something you can sell in your shop?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't mess with
Is
that.
it like a licensing thing?
Well, it's a licensing thing. I mean, it's artwork. I mean, most fraternity members and sorority members want something specifically.
Them.
Yeah. So
Not the whole.
that's a touchy thing only on the sense of how it's used.
Mhm.
Like you have it on the wall representing us, the fraternities and sororities, period. That's to me, that's safe.
And you see it's at eye level with
Yeah,
kids.
it's safe.
It's
You know
them.
that the thing with that is, I'm glad you took the time to be able to just generally explain it to them. You're not in a fraternity, so we don't expect you to be up there yelling the Greek alphabet backwards and forwards and knowing the dates and stuff like that. But that's a good representation of our organizations, and it's a good conversation piece. For instance, if let's just say one of my frat brothers was up in there at the time, and something one little kid come and say, "Hey, what's that?" It's a good piece to be able to explain something.
Yeah, I turn that around. They look at it and somebody try to name them in Google. Conversational piece.
But far as selling, artwork, when the artwork I do sell, it's usually organization based. Like the Qs want a Q shield, crest, coat of arms, and so on and so on. The pieces I have are for specific organizations and stuff.
Yeah, I'm about to come check you out, man.
Yeah.
All that and some Greek warehouse in Los Angeles. I'm definitely gonna come in there and give me some Negro League stuff. So just for the people, man, you was offering a special offer just for the podcast,
for this
right?
podcast. So everybody that's out there, in podcast land, social media, everybody that's watching who gonna hear this, all that and some for the remainder of Black History Month. All our HBCU items are 50% off. You heard it here first on FALON's podcast. 50% off till February the 28th. And that's for in-house purchases. So it doesn't apply online. So don't email me. This is if you come to the shop.
Up the
stairs, all the HBCU items. You have to mention this podcast though.
You have to mention code the PM podcast. You start on the PM podcast to get 50% off, guaranteed to happen in store only.
There you go. Because I'm supposed to go. I'm advertise it when I get home. Shout out to KJLH, Ron Turner and them. I'm gonna put it on the radio waves out there, but y'all hearing it first. So again, you gotta repeat, cause bro, you gotta let us know you saw us on the podcast in order to get the 50% HBCU discount for the remainder of the month.
Black History Month.
Man. Black History Month sale at all that and some, all the HBCU gear, 50% off. You gotta mention FALON's podcast.
And just a little bit, along with all that, you are part Arnold with some of your brothers. With the You Can't Teach That Hustle.
Yeah, we got a clothing line, You Can't Teach Hustle. Shout out to Adrian TC. Been in business for over 10 years with that brand. We in the process of redoing that right now. We still have the store on eBay, so you can look us up. You Can't Teach Hustle on eBay. Or you can hit us up on Instagram. You Can't Teach Hustle, just like it's spelled. You Can't Teach Hustle.
And you can't.
You can't. It's a lifestyle brand. You either get it or you got it.
It's gotta be in your blood.
You're born with it.
And so I know you just touched down in Dallas, man. You came out here. Kendrick Lamar has done his thing.
Yep.
He took home a bunch of Grammys this past week from the Grammys, man.
Fiverr.
Shout out to the West Coast, doing it big. You know what I mean? We can't even complain about that, man. Bringing the West Coast together. A lot of love in the city, reducing crime and stuff like that. I've been hearing this a lot of peace out there. You know what I mean? Everybody's getting along. I love how he's blending in the Mexican culture, the Black culture, our brown brothers and things like that, especially what's going on with Agent Orange right now. He's trying to divide us. And you got somebody out like the Kendrick Lamar trying to put us together. You know what I'm saying? Finally, you know what I mean? So it's a lot of energy, negative and positive on both sides. And he's recently about to perform at the Super Bowl in New Orleans at Super Bowl 59 versus the Chiefs and Eagles game during the halftime show, man. What's the energy like out there?
The energy is hyphy. Because, like we said on the previous ones, man, that dude then put the West. He put the he didn't took the West and put it on his back, rightfully so.
As he should.
He
As he
got
should.
5 Grammys to show for it. The boy put out one of the best songs, diss records out probably in history. He didn't join the top 5 diss rap songs list
Ever.
ever.
Yeah.
And like you said, the piggyback, man, he doing a lot for the culture out there to keep as much peace as he can with using his persona, and who he is and what he represent. But far as the hip hop scene, man, I mean, he hot right now, man. Well, he been hot for a long time. And the thing about Kendrick too, Kendrick been out a long time. Like, he one of them rappers that pay dues. Like, people think he just popped up on the scene when he got with Dre. I forget the name of the first album, but the one, well, it ain't, see, that's the thing. That wasn't his first album.
Mad Kid.
That wasn't his first album. Kendrick got albums prior to that.
Wow.
That got some heat on it. But let's say, mainstream Kendrick came in. He just blew it up and he nonstop. And that dude is smart.
The dude is cold. I seen him on that Power episode when he was playing that crazy little dude with the crazy hair and like a dope fiend or something. When I seen him play that role, homie, I said, "Oh, this dude is special."
Yeah, he crafty.
He's real crafty.
He real crafty. I ain't never met him. He seemed down to earth from what I see, but at the end of the day, he's creating a good, because, man, like I said, man, when they film that They Not Like Us video, man,
Had the whole city out.
Man, the city was lit, man. Everybody was trying to run and be where he was at filming, man. He was all through Compton filming.
Hamsburger.
Man, that's the thing.
They don't realize that's in front of the Compton courthouse.
Yeah, these are like local landmarks to us.
Yeah, when you see them under that white thing out of there, for those who don't know, it ain't from Compton. That's right in front of. I'm talking about
the
right
courthouse.
The front of the courthouse. Right behind that is. Trust me, I done been in there. Right behind that is the courthouse. Right below that is police cars, and right around that neighborhood, at the neighborhood, at the neighborhood, at the neighborhood, Compton High, right down the street,
right up the street.
And then even the barbershop you used to go to, right?
Yeah,
there, right?
Black and them still over there. Shout out to Black and shout out to Rob and them at R&B in Lakewood. But yeah, no, them my guys. I still mess with both of them.
Brought the city together, man. And Los Angeles is going through something right now, from all the recent fires. So, condolences to all the loved ones that was lost. Shout out to the people out there that's trying to rebuild Los Angeles. Be coming back LA strong, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So, it's a good time out there right now as far as Kendrick bringing that home, man. It's like the city got rewarded on a different end.
They did, especially like you said, you touched on them fires, man. That stuff was tough, but for him to bring home them 5, represent the West, the coast, man, he put it on his back. Shout out, Kendrick.
Yeah. So, is there any way that people can get into contact with you with all that and some warehouse, Instagrams, or anything that you want to promote?
Y'all hit me on just like it's spelled, ALLTHATANDSUM. You can find my handles on TikTok, Instagram, and X, aka Twitter.
Twitter, man.
And you can Google me too. I'm on Facebook under Brian Compton. But hit me on Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter. Those are the top 3, preferably Instagram. That's the one I'm on the most right now. And then you could join my Facebook group, All That and Some, Hidden Treasures. That's a group I have on Facebook where I sell stuff on the low, but you gotta be a group member. So
that's cool.
Yeah, you want to check that out. And like I say, come to the store. If you in LA or you visiting in a town, you in the city, come check us out.
Pull up.
Yeah, Black owned. We great HBCU. So come on down to the town, man. It's you'll see when you get there, man. Like I say, I provide you a shopping experience. I took my time to build it really make the shop as nice as possible. Constantly improving, constantly looking for ways to satisfy the clients, man. And we got top tier items with fair pricing, and you can't beat our customer service.
As you should.
Yep.
So, and with that being said, man, I want to thank you for being a guest, man. We put in a lot of work out here, you know what I mean? A lot of work out here, you know what I mean, to get this going. So, yeah. Shout out to my cousin, Brian Compton. Go check out the store. Also, man, I want to give a shout out to Sugar Slim for the beats. If you need beats, intros, outros, R&B songs, rap music, whatever it is, man, holla at my boy Sugar Slim on Instagram, Sugar Slim Beats, aka Blue Check Slim. You know what I mean? And you're gonna hear him on the outro. It's hot theme music, theme song, and things like that. Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans going down this weekend.
Who you got?
Check man. I don't even want to grab my helmet and go over there. You know what I'm saying? Well, since he want to ask questions, let's just go ahead and make it official.
He got the headgear. He got the throwback helmet.
You know what I'm saying? When you look at it, he got the lineman mask on.
The chin, you got the. I was about to say something. He got the chin strap. We used to call that the special bus chin strap.
Yeah, man.
He got the special bus chin strap.
Shout out to the Chiefs, man. We're gonna do that. Man.
I think they're gonna do it.
3-peat. Going at it again, man. That being said, out of this piece, man.
Peace and love, y'all.